Grayson Report. Hold on, let me fix my camera a bit. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing? What is up? What is up, Carol, Daniel, Julissa, Wendy, Laura, Gunner Girl, Matthew, Nerd Report in the house. What is up? How's everyone doing? We'll wait a few more minutes for people to trickle in. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Did any of you guys do anything interesting? Chris goes, I forgot about you changing it to Tuesday. That's okay, Chris. You made it though, Chris. What do had to work and get to be watching kind of recovery. Julian, what is up? That's wrong with looking. I do that myself. A little thing today. What is up with my computer? Was okay today. How was your day? My computer's doing something weird. This is crazy. How was your day? Wait for people to trickle in. Mine was okay. Work was kind of an hour into work. A dog got loose and he hasn't come back and we can't find him. And so I've kind of been kind of down because of that, because I felt like it's kind of my responsibility to make sure the dogs are safe. But Portland, what is up? So that kind of, yeah, that's how my day started. It was within the first hour or two of my day at work. So, yeah. Other than that, it went well. But while we're waiting for people, I'm going to share a little movie news. Well, yeah, I guess this is kind of movie news. The most hated paranormal investigator. Only reason why, because it seems like everyone hates him. Ghost Adventure host and creator Zach Bagans launches Scare House Films. Ghost Adventure paranormal investigator and EP Zach Bagans is opening the doors to his new production company, Scare House Films. It's a pretty cool name. Scare House Films, which will initially be funded with a multi-million-dollar investment by Bagans, plans to go into production on 3 independent horror films in 2025. I am all down for it because I am looking for new ideas. So I am down for independent horror films. As long as it's not a remake, because it seems like every single movie, even including the ones that are coming out in 2025, seem to be a remake. I know I spoke about American Psycho, how they're reimagining or readaptation. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I feel like, why are you messing with them? Just leave them alone. I know. I think I saw an article where Jennifer Love Hewitt is on for I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't need to see a remake of those. I get why they're doing it. I get they're trying to bring it to this generation, but still, the reason why they were made back then was because, and they were great back then, and they should stay back then and remain great. You know what I mean? They should remain classics. Some of them are classics for a reason. Bagans has hosted 330 episodes of the Discovery Plus series Ghost Adventures, which he created and has aired since 2008. On Ghost Adventures, Bagans, Aaron Goodwin, Billy Tolley, and Jay Walsley investigates the scariest and most notorious haunted places in the world. Bagans also created and produced the international series this year, Destinations of the Dam. If you guys haven't checked that out, it is on Max, and I did enjoy it. It kind of reminded me of stuff that I do talk about here. It went to different places and it talked about like legends and folklore. I enjoyed it. So if you guys haven't checked it out, it is on Max, which reached number 2 on Max behind The Penguin. Another movie, I know it's our series, I should say. If you guys have not checked out Penguin, it is amazing. You need to check it out if you have Max. Um, I kind of feel bad that it's part of the Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman or Pattison Batman, because it was a 3-hour movie, and I didn't feel like it needed to be a 3-hour movie. So, and I know they're making a second one. They definitely need to step it up. Destinations of the Damned sends documentary crews to capture the true tales of twisted terror, local lore, and deeply disturbing paranormal activity at doomed locations. Over the years, Bagans has produced hundreds of episodes, including specials and documentaries like Netherworld. In 2018, Bagans expanded his repertoire by producing and directing the feature-length documentary Demon House, delving into a notorious haunted case, which is the Ammons case. In Indiana, they did have a like kind of movie on Netflix that was loosely based on the Ammons case, and I mean loosely. But if you really want something that's more in depth, check out Demon House. I think it was on YouTube for a bit. Collaborating with filmmaker Eli Roth, Bagans co-produced 2 series of the scripted anthology series The Haunted Museum, which showcased chilling artifacts with his own collection. Bagans owns the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, recognized by USA Today as the best haunted destination in America for 5 consecutive years. The museum houses thousands of artifacts, many of which have inspired film projects. The Haunted Museum in Vegas is on my bucket list. I hope to go there one day. Bagans co-wrote with author Kelly Krieger Dark Worlds Into the Shadow with the lead investigator of the Ghost Adventures crew, which debuted on the New York Times bestseller list in the fall of 2011. In December of 2019, he published the book Ghost Hunting for Dummies. The book outlines the history of ghost hunting, including true accounts and stories from Bagans' famous cases. Gersh represents both Bagans and Scarehouse films. Which I'm all down for independent horror. I do. If you guys are looking for something crazy to watch, they do have horror shorts here on YouTube. A lot of them are amazing. They're only like 2 minutes long, but they're awesome. So if you guys haven't checked it out, just look up horror shorts here on YouTube. Lisa Boo, what's up? Leonore, how's it going? I need to fish. What is up? We also have, which is crazy, as soon as the reports of drones in New Jersey popped up, the next day, I am not kidding you, they said that one popped up here in SoCal, Temecula area, San Diego area. Wendy Corn, how's it going? I have not personally seen any. I'm in between I'm located in between Ontario and Los Angeles, if you guys are familiar, or I'm about 35 miles, 34 miles ish from Los Angeles, east of Los Angeles, to be more exact. And I have not seen any drones. But Southern California residents report seeing drones in sky amid national concern. Most of America remains concerned about mysterious drones being sighted in the night sky across the country, and SoCal residents are on high alert too. Video sent in by KTLA viewer Zeus Jakovic shows what he describes as a moving light zooming across the sky that he observed while putting up Christmas lights at his Redondo Beach home. What is this? He was heard asking aloud. They're just hanging out. Another video sent in by KTLA, which is channel 5 here. It's a local news station here to LA. Viewer named Sharon shows what happens to be a drone hovering over the San Fernando Gardens community in Tacoma just hours before the KTLA 5 weekend morning news started Sunday morning. Further footage this time shows multiple alleged drones flying over Riverside was uploaded to TikTok. The flying objects were said to have been spotted in Temecula as well. Elected officials across America have expressed worry over the mysterious lights in the sky, including New Jersey Governor Phil Murray, who recently asked the Biden administration to allocate more resources to his state's investigation. New Jersey and New York were among the first places to report the sightings. One such occurrence, called Stewart International Airport, located an hour and a half north of New York City, to be shut down temporarily Friday night. After the airport reopened, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, stated that this has gone too far, and like her New Jersey counterpart, called on federal officials to address the increasing amount of sightings while also asking Congress to strengthen the FAA's oversight on drones. There already are there's already rules for drones. Because I know there's some places here in SoCal that, because I was looking into them because I was interested in buying one. Flying one is a different story. There are certain drones that you do need a license, and also there are some areas that you cannot fly drones, which I think a lot of people don't know about, because we see drones all over the place. So we're assuming that you could just, buy one off of Amazon or something and just fly it out, but that's not the case. In a statement put out by the U.S. Department of Defense on Saturday, officials confirmed that drones were spotted over 2 military bases in New Jersey, but the drone sightings are not a new issue. We've had to deal with drones incursions over our bases for quite a time now, a joint staff spokesperson said. It's something that we routinely respond to in each and every case when reporting is cited. This said, the department is frustrated with the appearance of the drones. I feel like they could do more with it. I feel like they're not doing enough. They're like, oh, drones. I get it. They're trying to do the best they can, but I feel like I feel my question is like, who is manning these drones? Where are they coming from? I mean, I've read several articles where they said they aren't a threat, but to me that is a threat, because you don't know who or what or where it's coming from. So to me, that's a threat. National Security spokesperson John Kirby, meanwhile, said earlier this week that there is no evidence the reported sightings pose a national security or public safety threat. I just feel like, because they're popping over everywhere, it could be someone that's bored. You never know. You've got people like that are have all the time in the world, have all the money in the world, and they're bored and they want to do something like that. But I feel like even when I saw the first videos, I felt like those are military drones, because they look like the size of a military drone. But I just feel like, even though they're saying we don't feel like it's a anything against national security, I feel like they still should be on a lookout and still be cautious and still try to figure out where these are coming from. And I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking of that. Brandon goes drone against the machine. Nerder Park goes the dark drone rises. Some good names here. Fast Times at Drones High. Attack of the 50-foot drone. Beavis and Dronehead from SP Agent 10. What is up? Hey, everyone. How's it going? SpongeBob Drone Pants. Maria goes, as someone said, the obvious Jersey drones. Nerd Report, the Blair Drone Project. SP Agent 10 hit the drone button, everybody. Daniel with the drone a hinge. Josh with the dudes, where's my drone? Jennifer Marie with the drone strike back. Richie, what is up? Escape from new drone. Shiloh Toto, how's it going? His, hers, and ours drones. Christina with I'll be drone for Christmas. Matthew with the maximum drone drive. I still have to watch that movie, Matthew. That's still on my list. That's how behind I am on movies. And I still need to see Alien Romulus. And then I just forgot that Smile 2 is on, I think, Peacock. Smile too, because I was looking through, trying to find something to watch, and then I saw it. I think it's on Peacock. Think it's on Peacock. So if you guys have Peacock and we're looking for Smile 2, check it out. That is on my list. Brandon with the Edward Scissor drone hands. Nosferatu, Red Drone, Nerd Report, Drone Fiction, Matthew, the Twilight Drone, Bernadette with the cats and drones. You guys are going crazy. Super crazy with the drones. Guys, okay, for everyone in the chat, what do you think these drones are? Do you think it's someone that's bored? Or do you think it's someone from another country that's actual like it's something of a concern, I should put. I think it's something that we need to keep our eye out on. There's even drones that were spotted over Connecticut. Since we're all about drones today. The passion of the drones. So is that object in the sky a benign drone or something more? Halfway through December, more people in Connecticut have reported seeing UFOs than any other month this year, according to data from the National UFO Reporting Center. The surge comes as people across New England have spotted influx in mysterious drones flying in the nighttime sky. Connecticut State Police have deployed a detection system in response to the drone reports, and State Senator Tony Wang, Republican District.
She said Wang.
I said Wang. Yeah, that's the name.
It looks like a flying Wang.
What's up, Nerd Report?
Hey, what's up? Sorry to invade your show. Yeah, the drones, man. Everyone's going crazy in their chat. I have no idea why. They seem to be replacing one word of movies, one word of movie titles with the word drone, and they were doing it on my chat. It seems to be like a thing that's going on. I don't know who started it or what. I think it was Brandon who started it. Attack of the Lewis. Yeah, man. I love it. I was telling everybody I'm kind of addicted to drones. Like I need a drone fix.
Heather Salvatore, she emailed a recommendation on a drone
to buy.
Yeah.
Well, we can't afford it right now. We can't afford it, but
no, they're kind of because I was looking into them earlier. I had said earlier I was looking into them, but I'm afraid that if I get one, that I'm going to crash it and then boom, that's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like something, there's a lot of BS going around there. Folks, what do you think the drones are? Take it to Grayson Report's channel. What do you think the drones are? Really? Is it a big deal? We're just making a big deal out of it?
Or is it someone that's bored and has all this money and bought these drones and are just flying, like a group of people or something, because they're spotting all over the place. So like a group of people that are bored and they're just want to make a commotion.
Yeah, Brokeback Drone. I like that. All right, keep the trolling here. Hey, you know what? Lisa works her ass off. I dare somebody to super chat her right now. Super chat Lisa. Lisa, why don't you do that goal?
I could.
Yeah.
Come on.
She's gonna set up a goal with the super chats. You're gonna do Tuesday nights now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon with the first super chat. Badass.
Thanks, Brandon.
Amazing. Hearts for Brandon. Look, there's 50 people in here. If Lisa had to go, what days are you on now? Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
You had to take a day off because you had to get another job. I'll say it for you. I know you don't want to because you couldn't sustain yourself. let's get Lisa to back to more videos here. But she's got bills. If there's 50 people here, if everyone sends $2, that will make this, that will pay for the week. That will pay for the week. Everyone sends $2. Did you set up the goal?
I'm thinking of how to celebrate.
Uh, how will you celebrate? You'll give it, okay, you do 2 videos, right?
Yeah.
All right, bonus video. Do a bonus video standalone if you get a one extra. Bonus video dedicated to those who did it. I mean, it may not happen. I know the economy's bad. Take their bluff. Do 5 $2 super chats. That's nothing. All right. Tell me when that's done.
Hold on. It's not letting me do it.
Well, okay, listen, we don't need to do it. All right, this is what we'll do. Brandon already donated. That's 1. We need 9 more $2 super chats or the equivalent of that. And then you'll give a bonus video for that. So I put you on the hook, okay?
Okay.
All right, have fun with the drones, folks. Keep the trolling. Brandon sent another. We don't want Brandon only. Somebody help Brandon out.
Thank
There's
you,
2 right
Brandon.
there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's $2. Get another video. Help this crazy lady out, man. I see so many Hey, I see so many creators. They're like rich, and people throw money at people that don't need the extra revenue because they're getting already paid by YouTube. So hook her up, man. She had to get another job. She had to get a job. She's creating less. So if you could do it, you do it. If not, that's cool. Keep watching. There should be at least 50 likes here and stuff. And keep the drone fun going, okay? I will talk to you later. I'm out of here. I'm gonna look in the sky for some drones. Bye.
Okay. Bye. All right, where was I before I was rudely interrupted? Jennifer Marie, thank you for that super chat. I started the drone movies trolling. Don't give Brandon my credit. All right, Jennifer Marie. It was Jennifer Marie. If Nerd Report's out there listening, not Brandon. Actually, Jennifer Marie, that's a awesome idea because it's making me laugh. After the day I had today, that's making me laugh. If you didn't hear me earlier, at work, Brandon goes, "You punk." Earlier at work, because I work at an adoption center, a dog got loose. A volunteer was walking a dog. The dog got loose. He didn't come back, and he's a skittish dog. He was probably one of the ones that I kind of was one of my favorites. So now I'm worried about him. I left the gate open to work, so hopefully he'll come back in the morning, but that's how my day's been all day, and it was within the first hour of my day. I kind of feel like I know it wasn't me that dropped the leash, but it feels like I am because I'm responsible for I'm their mother until they get adopted, kind of, and I love each one of them with all my heart, and it hurts me. Thank you, Leonore, for the super chat, and thank you, Diney Rose or Dinny Rose. I do apologize if I'm butchering your name, for the super sticker. Hearts for Leonore, Dinny or Diney Rose, and Jennifer Marie, and Brandon. Thank you. Sander, the day the drone stood still. Jennifer Marie goes, the drones Dollar Tree, keep it going. So as I was saying, there was a drone spotted in Connecticut as well. I'm sure we're going to start seeing more and more states. I said Tony Wang said Friday that reports of drone sightings in Fairfield County are very unsettling to public safety and security. Residents in Barkhamsted, Bramford, New Hampshire, Hartford, Pomfret, Brookfield, Bristol, Westport, and Norwalk have reported seeing UFOs this month. The reports have come in since Friday. Witnesses claim to have seen objects that are rectangular, cylinder, and circular in shape. One person in Barkhamsted, that's a great name, reported that the object was three bright lights in a triangular formation. The witness noted that it could have been a possible drone. A report from New Hartford, I want to say New Hampshire, New Hartford states that the object was about the size of a large cargo plane, had a single light, and then went from standstill to speed of light. The White House said Thursday that reviews of the drone reports have shown most of them are manned and being flown lawfully. The Pentagon has said that they are not military drones. They look like military drones to me. Blumenthal wrote the Federal Aviation Administration, the FBI, the U.S. Department of Defense, and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on Friday to demand a briefing on the drone sightings. The proliferation of reported drone activities in this region raises significant safety and security concerns for both commercial and private aviation, as well as national security concerns. He wrote, incidents involving drones interfering with aircraft operations have increased, posing a real and substantial risk to passengers, crews, and others in the vicinity, and I am particularly concerned about the potentials for these unmanned aerial vehicles, many of which are as large as a car, to disrupt air traffic and, more alarmingly, to be used maliciously to threaten national security. So it looks like no one knows what these are. What's up, Delay Lux? I think you're in there somewhere. What's up, Delay Lux? How's it going? If you're coming in to the chat, everyone is replacing a word of a movie with drone. If you guys are wondering, if you're coming in now and you're looking, you're like, what the heck? Brie with the Nightmare on Drone Street, Leonard with the Running Drone, Nosferatu with Lake Drone. Also want to give a shout out to Heather Salvatore for your PayPal. And she says, I have GPS trackers for Mocha and Capone. How did you like the videos I sent you? I haven't had a chance, Heather, because I've been watching. I've been working. I worked 6 days last week. And the dog does have a microchip. And he has a collar, but I wasn't sure. I don't know if he had a collar that had a tag that actually had. I'm hoping it had a tag on it, because I know some of them don't have tags that have the adoption center that I work for on it. But I'm just hoping, I'm trying to think of the best, and I'm hoping that someone grabbed him. He is very skittish and shy. So I feel like he's the type of dog that would keep on running. But I'm just hoping that someone was able to get him and he could be returned soon. Rooster, what's up? And then hearts for Heather Salvatore for that PayPal. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have the email here, Heather. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. Been busy. Julissa, what is up? How's it going? Also, too, if you guys aren't familiar with Blink 182, Tom DeLonge, he's a big I used to be a Blink 182 fan, and I always remembered that he was huge with UFOs, and I did find an article. That was when I was listening to Blink 182. I went on to more harder music like Korn and Godsmack. But I did have a stint where I was listening to Blink 182, 311, Sum 41. Blink 182's Tom DeLonge shares his theory on New Jersey drone sightings. There is a good chance that these things could potentially be mimicking other aircraft, the guitarist and UFO expert wrote. He's like a true believer. I'm a little skeptical when it comes to UFOs. I still need a little more proof. I do believe that there are life on other planets. I do find some of the stories, like the abduction stories and stuff like that, plausible. But I just need more proof Tom DeLonge is offering his thoughts on the mysterious drone sightings in New Jersey. On Saturday, December 14th, the Blink 182 guitarist and UFO aficionado shared a post on social media proposing a theory about the mass drone sightings that have been reported across the Garden State in recent weeks. The drones that are being discussed can hover for 6 hours and then disappear once they are spotted, DeLonge wrote on Instagram. This is why it's been hard to get facts from any U.S. agency. Some of them can even move into the ocean and then back up to the air, which is called transmedium travel, a very hard thing to do. I think he also believes in interdimensional beings, if I'm not mistaken. The drone sightings, which have also been reported in New York, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut since late November, are currently under investigation by local, state, and federal authorities who remain puzzled by the flying objects. On Friday, December 13th, White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby downplayed the sightings, suggesting that people may be misidentifying manned aircraft as drones, according to the New York Post. He also assumed or assured the public that there were no cause of concern. New Jersey Governor Phil Murray reported nearly 50 sightings in the state alone just last week. That is crazy. DeLonge, who has dedicated many years to researching and raising awareness about UFOs, compared the current sightings to mass UFO reports from the 60s. There's a strong possibility that these drones are mimicking other aircraft, the Blink 182 co-founder speculated, sharing a 1960s document. Why am I watching ads? Document about a military base that had experienced a considerable number of reports of unidentified flying objects. He continued, it's all something to consider, and although we don't have all the facts yet, we do know that UFOs play with mimicry, and that has been known for quite some time. Why? To get us to notice them without a major freakout? Who knows? But, well, we are noticing nonetheless. He is like a true believer, so I feel like yeah, he goes into, if I'm not mistaken, he goes into conspiracy theories and all that good stuff too. But that's what he thinks. Bernadette goes, what if we are aliens? Technically we are. We're aliens to the aliens. We are. They don't know who we are. We don't know who they are. So technically, if in their eyes, we are aliens. So yeah, in a way, we could be considered aliens. Brendan goes, he had a space academy, right? I don't know if he did he? Oh yeah. It says To the Stars Inc., formerly known as To the Stars Academy of Arts and Scientists, is a San Diego-based company co-founded by Tom DeLonge, Harold D. Putoff, and Jim Semivan. So yeah, kind of. Damn, Brandon, you're like deep diving there with that one. I didn't even know that one. The dog, to answer Heather Salvatore's question, the dog is registered to us or to the place that I work for. But I have a feeling that if someone grabs him, they may not, because he is a 7-month-old puppy. He's a terrier puppy. If they can, and allegedly he still has his leash on him. So I'm hoping that someone was able to grab the leash and bring him home. And I'm hoping it's one of those people that thinks to bring it back to us or to the shelter so it could get scanned. I'm hoping because he's not a friendly dog. He's not like the typical dog where you walk in and wagging tail and he wants to lick your face off. He's the type of dog that when he comes in, he goes like this. And I don't know his history, but I think he's the sweetest dog in the world, but I'm just hoping just hoping. I'm trying to remain positive because it's like killing me right now. Venom, the last drone. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Jennifer Marie goes, "Oh, my Frankie's like that. He's my sweet little baby, but terrified of everything." I was trying to my goal was to try to get him not to be afraid. So I would pick him up. I finally put him in a kennel because he was in a kennel by himself. So I put him with other dogs, and he lit up, and it made me so happy to see him lit up. And he was actually all weekend he was walking. I've never seen him walk because you would have to literally pick him up. I know I'm going off topic, guys. I'm sorry. But you literally had to pick him up and put him on the grass so he would, do his business. So it was like it was hard to get him. So the fact that I was seeing him go out the door with the other dogs and walk down the street was like amazing. And all weekend he was fine. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't. But it's killing me because he's he's not the dog to be loose right now. So with all this drone sightings and UFO talks, I was wondering, when was the first UFO sighting? I know I've talked about the first ghost hunter, I've talked about the first considered the first witch. Um I just never thought I never talked about when was the first sighting of a UFO, and it kind of intrigued me. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the article I wanted. I wanted the one below it. Heather, whatever goes, I was my dog's third owner. He was 6 months old, can't get him groomed. He lived on the street. They can defend themselves sometimes. Mine's named Jack Sparrow, but should be Stitched. Stitch, sorry. So America's first UFO sighting. Think UFO sightings as just a modern phenomenon. Think again, the Puritans were the first to record strange shining lights in American skies. On March 1st, 1639, John Winthrop opened his diary in which he recorded the trials and triumphs of his fellow Puritans as they made a new life in America. As the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony put pen to paper, he began to recount a most unusual event that had recently caused a stir among the English immigrants. Winthrop wrote that earlier in the year, James Everell, a sober, discreet man, and two others had been rowing a boat in the muddy river which flowed through swampland and emptied into a tidal basin in the Charles River when they saw a great light in the night sky. When it stood still, it flamed up and was about 3 yards square, the governor reported. When it ran, it was contracted into the figure of a swine. Over the course of 2 to 3 hours, the boatman said that the mysterious light ran as swift as an arrow, darting back and forth between them and the village of Charlestown, a distance of approximately 2 miles. Diverse other credible persons saw the same light after about the same place, Winthrop added. The governor wrote that when the strange apparition finally faded away, the three Puritans in the boat were stunned to find themselves 1 mile upstream, as if the light had transported them there. The men had no memory of their rowing against the tide, although it's possible that they could have been carried by the wind or a reverse tidal flow. The mysterious repositioning of the boat could suggest that they were unaware of parts of their experiences. Some researchers would interpret this as a possible alien abduction if it happened today, write Jacques Vallée and Chris Abeck in Wonders in the Sky, Unexplained Aerial Objects from Antiquity to Modern Times. Some have speculated that the curious glow could have been an ignis fatuus, a pale light that can appear over marshland at night due to the combustion of gas from decomposed organic matter. If Winthrop's report was correct, however, the light was not rising from the swamp but shooting across the sky, making that explanation unlikely. An odd sight returned to the sky of Boston 5 years later. According to another entry in Winthrop's diary dated January 18th of 1644, about midnight, three men coming to in a boat to Boston saw two lights arise out of the water near the north point of the town cove in a form like a man, and went at a small distance to the town and so to the south point and there vanished away. A week later, Winthrop wrote another unexplained celestial event occurred over Boston Harbor. A light like the moon arose from the northeast point in Boston and met the former at Noodles Island, and there they closed in one and then parted and closed and parted diverse times, and so went over the hill and the island and vanished. Sometimes they shot out flames and sometimes sparkle. This was about 8 of the clock in the evening and was seen by many. His account continued. I figured maybe they thought it was like the work of the devil or something. About the same time, a voice was heard upon the water between Boston and Yorkshire, calling out in the most dreadful manner, "Boy, boy, come away, come away." And it suddenly shifted from one place to another a great distance, about 20 times. It was heard by diverse godly persons. About 14 days after, the same voice in the same dreadful manner was heard by others on the other side of town toward Noddles Island. I love how they wrote back then. Nosferatu goes in 1950s, I think was one of the first accepted reports. It was probably more like Area 51, how we've always heard about Area 51. A drone is born. Winthrop noted that rescuers had recovered the bodies of all victims except for the man believed responsible for the calamity, a sailor who professed the ability to communicate with the dead and who was suspected of murdering his master in Virginia. The hand of the devil was thought to have taken possession of the body, and it was the haunting voice of the sailor's ghost that was said to have accompanied the strange vision of ye old UFO that mystified Boston. I just like how they wrote about that. So basically, they're seeing in the 1600s was probably the first time a UFO was reported. I'm surprised that obviously they added the devil. I was gonna say, I'm surprised they didn't say anything, "Oh, that's the devil work," or that like someone was using witchcraft to cause those lights to happen. Um, Heather Salvatore is asking how many people here have a drone. Nosferatu goes, "Well, I was way off. My kid is studying the Puritans and witch trials too. How did she not tell me this?" I don't think they actually put UFOs. I don't think they mentioned UFOs in school. I don't think they do. I don't know, when I went to school, I never really heard about UFOs. So that's probably why she didn't tell you that, Nosferatu. Heather, whatever goes, "My youngest son has a drone." Like I was saying earlier, and I know Nerd Report mentioned it too. Like Nerd Report's like obsessed with drones now. I was looking at it before, for like aerial shots because I like doing when I take pictures. I like taking pictures of like scenic things. Like I don't like being in the picture because I had a mom that was like, I called her Rambo with a camera because my mom loved to take, but I am grateful for all those pictures. So now, I mean, when you're older, you understand. Like, I'm grateful for all those pictures. But at the time, it was Rambo with a camera. And, but I am so grateful for those. So I think that kind of like scarred me in a way. So I don't like being in pictures too much, but I do like taking pictures of places I've gone to, or like if I'm at the beach, I like to take a picture of the sunset type of thing. I'm more of that type of picture taker. Um Daniel Miles goes, "Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Drones." Matthew goes, "Halloween drones of Michael Myers." Sonder with the Dronezilla, Denny with the Beverly Hills drones. Heather Salvatore, what is the link? From UFOs to drones, the US fascination with and fear of anomalous detections. A first of the kind public archives of UFO records opens in New Mexico as New Jersey is gripped by drone panic. I think it's not just New Jersey, it's everywhere it seems like. Not everywhere, but like we've had some here in SoCal as well. A widespread panic about drones or other unknown low-flying objects have gripped New Jersey in recent days, but many other parts of the U.S. remain cheerfully gripped by another very American mystery in the skies that has had a modern resurgence of interest: UFOs. I believe it started with the Las Vegas family. I don't know if it started with the Las Vegas family, but I do know um, when the Las Vegas family had said that they saw aliens in their backyard. I was very skeptical about it. Uh, the videos I would see, there would be people going, "Look, you see this figure," and they're drawing it, and I was like, "I don't see anything." He also later came out to say now his house is haunted, so it kind of made me, especially with that um statement, because he's saying that his house was haunted because of what had happened. That kind of made me realize, like, maybe his other story was not 100% real. I mean, he stood by the story. I do know also too that the government, you had David Grush come out and say, "Yes, they're not telling you the whole thing. This is what I saw." I feel like the government just needs to come out and say, "Yes, there's UFOs. You guys were right all along." On what was it? On um how Han Solo turns to Ray and he goes, all of it is real," or something to that effect. That's what they need to come out and say. So I feel like they just need to come out and say, "Yes, this is what you've been seeing. Yes, we've had." I don't think there's going to be widespread panic if that's what they're worried about. I feel like, I mean, there's going to be more people talking about it. It's going to be more conversation starter, I guess. But they just need to come out and say, "Yes, this is what we found. The crash in the 40s was real. We've seen numerous accounts." They just need to come out and say, that's my opinion. I think they just need to come out and come clean. I don't think it's going to cause mass panic. I don't know what they would be afraid of. I don't know why. Maybe they just feel like it's better to keep it top secret. But I just feel like they just need to come out and have a conference one day, go look and speak us and choose a speaker. We've came here today to let you know, and then just let it all out. Daniel goes, "I agree." Yes, they just need to tell us. At the newly opened National UFO Historical Record Center, an array of beige buildings on the grounds of the Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, records detailing unexplained aerial objects and public fears around them fill dozens of filing cabinets. For director David Marler, the first of its kind public archive of historical UFO records is the accumulation of a lifelong interest in and the investigation of UFOs, or as the military now prefers to designate, UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. I still call them UFOs. It arrived at an opportune moment. In recent years, congressional and Senate hearings have thrust the subject, which rises and falls in public attention, often at times of national or political insecurity, back into the spotlight. I think UFOs are super popular. I feel like because you don't hear too much about UFOs, um, I feel like you hear more about the paranormal side of things. Like there's more stories about a haunted house, about someone having this paranormal experience than you do hear about aliens. So I feel like when something in the news pops up like family sees UFOs or aliens in backyard, it's gonna catch our attention because we're gonna be like, "What?" because it's something that I think not just me, but I think everyone out there as well, that we want to believe. We want to believe that there's something out there. Um, we want the concrete evidence that something does exist out there. So that's where how I feel is why there's so much hype when it comes to aliens and so much interest, because it's something that we don't hear about too often, and it's only been recent that it has come about in the news. It arrives in back in the spotlight, which I read. Marlar's collection of UFO books, journals, magazines, newspapers, microfilm, audio recordings, and case files from the last 75 years is impressive and includes hold on, guys, my YouTube on my end just like went out. So I was just checking. Sorry for the pause. The last 75 years is impressive and includes files from the earliest U.S. Air Force studies, Project Sign, Project Grudge, and Project Blue Book. Sorry about that, guys. As well as from the National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomenon, the Aerial Phenomenon Research Organization, once based in Alamogordo, 3.5 hours away, and the UFO Research Committee of Akron, Ohio. One military report from September 13th of 1959 details an object making 7 angular turns and was tracked by 4 military radar stations in New Mexico, moving far faster than the fastest fighter jet of the time, the Convair 106, or the Covair 106. The Air Force was interested not from the quote unquote the alien perspective, but from national defense, much as they are today. Merler says practical reasons, especially as you have qualified military and commercial pilots reporting these things. In congressional hearings last month, witnesses claimed the government is sitting on a trove of information on UAPs stretching back decades. 2 former Navy pilots have recounted firsthand sightings of unexplained objects routinely violating U.S. airspace. Retired Major David Gresh, formerly part of the Pentagon's UAP task force, says that the U.S. government has long run a secret program to reverse engineer non-human materials from crash sites, which I don't put it past it. There's a lot of things we probably don't know that the government has been doing. But the U.S. All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, formed in 2022, has said no single explanation addresses the majority of UAP reports or anomalous detections, and it has not found any evidence of extraterrestrial technology. Of course, a lot of times they're probably going to deny it too. In a September hearing, AARO Director John Koslowski said reports of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, particularly near national security sites, must be treated seriously and investigated with scientific rigor by the U.S. government. Marler, who has been obsessively following the subject since he and his father went looking for UFOs during a sighting uptick in Missouri, says he's neutral on the phenomenon. One must be skeptical, look at the evidence objectively, and suspend and any conclusion on beliefs. He said, what I believe doesn't really matter unless I have data to support it. It's true. Nothing wrong with being skeptical. I think actually skepticals make the best investigators because they're not going to jump to conclusions. That goes with the paranormal thing. I am a believer in the paranormal, but you will have some people that are like a true believer of the paranormal, and then every little sound, if they're investigating a said haunted location, every little sound they're going to jump for. That is not a good thing. That's not a good thing when you're investigating and trying to see what if this place is haunted. It's best to be skeptical, because at least someone who's skeptical will go in there with an open mind. They won't be like, oh my God, what is that? That's a ghost. That's the spirit of so-and-so. I read it. They wouldn't be like that. So I feel like even with UFOs, it's the same thing. If you got someone that's totally deep dive into the beliefs of UFOs and into the conspiracy theories and all this, I feel like any little thing they see, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a UFO. That is an interdimensional demon. That's this. So I feel like if you're skeptical, you'll get concrete evidence. You'll get the facts. Nothing wrong with being skeptical at all. So he does make sense when he does say that. Earlier this year, a New York software company released an app called Enigma to collect sightings by uploading videos and photos with descriptions and to organize the crowdsourced data along geographic and other criteria. The problem with that, I feel like because of the technology we have, it's too easy to Photoshop. I mean, my Photoshop skills kind of suck. So, I mean, it'd be obvious if I Photoshopped a UFO into the skyline, you'd be able to tell. You'd see the lines. But there's some people that can blend pretty well. So because of technology, that's what gives me a hard time to believe. And there's a lot of people, especially TikTok, that wants to be TikTok famous. So even with the paranormal videos, like the ghost videos, it's very hard for me to believe because of what the technology we have. And I feel sorry for those people that actually do find something and they're posting it because they want people's opinions on what it is. And they're all going, oh, it's fake. It's fake. But I mean, it's just the sign of the times, unfortunately, because it's just too easy to add something to a video nowadays. I mean, now like you could just do it on your phone too. It's crazy like that. The engineers who screened for obvious hoaxes determined that New Mexico is the top state for sightings per capita with 12.2 entries per 100,000 people, far higher than the next closest states of Nevada and Arizona, with several strange videos submitted this year showing lights over Albuquerque and Gallup. This is the state, of course, that produced the Roswell incident, which cemented the idea of aliens as humanoids with smooth skin and green slit eyes, where hippies and New Agers came to live on Earth in Earth ships, and where a one flamed haired David Bowie came to act his alien persona in The Man Who Fell from Earth. It is also a site of nuclear activity, military proving ranges, and clear skies. Idea, in other words, for UFO sightings. Desert. I was going to say desert. The desert, usually the desert, there's nothing there. You don't have like city lights bleeding into the sky, so it makes it very easy to spot things, to see stars. I do still, even here when I go out to my driveway, I still see stars, but going out to the middle of nowhere where it's like pitch black, you're able to spot things more. Along the way, UFO conceptions have evolved. New agers of the 50s and the contractee movement, the alien abduction movement of the 70s and 80s, beautiful, ugly super beings, alien R's, and genderless spiritual guides, aliens bend to the metaphors of the day. I feel like, I mean, like the alien here I have on my mic, I feel like, how do we know an alien looks like this? I know this is what what they say in movies. I know Signs has shown an alien that kind of looked like this. The X-Files showed aliens that look like this, but how do we know that's exactly what they look like? I know this is what we're accustomed to, but I'm thinking that they could look like you and I, like in the movie what is it? They Live, where Roddy Piper put the glasses on and you could see who the people really are, or V, even where they're aliens but they're lizard aliens. So I mean, how do we know that this is the only species out there? You know what I mean? There could be more species. This could be a species of aliens, but there could be more out there. You know what I mean? You never know. Without data and information, Rojas points out, the public fills the gaps. Often the assumptions they make are pretty extreme, he says, adding that a better solution is one in which scientists write papers and counter papers, and that's where we need to get to. The UFO obsession has been running in waves since Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot, spotted some disc-like objects flying in formation near Mount Rainier in Washington state in June of 47. Newspapers latched on, dubbing them flying saucers. Similar observations poured in and have never really stopped. Greg Eigen, author of the recent global history of the UFO phenomenon titled After the Flying Saucers Came, traces the current swell of interest to a December of 2017 article in the New York Times contending that the Department of Defense had run a secret UFO investigation program between 2007 and 2012. The After the Flying Saucers Came. That sounds like a cool movie name, like an old classic movie name. But he said it has to be recognized that in large measures, sightings of UFOs or UAPs are often grassroots phenomenons that aren't triggered by anything except people actually seeing things. The missing step is that although people see things, they often don't report them. Also, the places where sightings tend to happen are near military installments where, by definition, there is a lot of observing going. There's there's an inherent observation bias going on, Higian points out, but the idea that people in and around New Mexico would be reporting sightings isn't especially surprising. They have 75 years of experience looking for and reporting these things, he says. None of that answers the question of what purpose our interest in UFOs serves, given that objects are undoubtedly being seen. It's a big question. Higian concedes UFOs in the classic sense are concoctions of some superpower here on Earth or some technological, sophisticated other entity from another planet or people from another dimension or form or future. The idea that holds it all together is that they represent something futuristic. Yet mass sightings of mysterious objects, such as the phenomenon playing out in New Jersey currently, can be rooted in contemporary fears. Jeff Van Drew, a Republican representative of New Jersey, last week claimed that Iran had stationed a mothership off the Atlantic coast, spawning what are assumed to be drones that Van Drew once shot down, an assessment the Pentagon rejected. Whether this stuff crops up, the story of government conspiracy and secrecy pops up as well. But since 2016, with the advent of the notion of a deep state thwarting the efforts of the Republican Party and God-fearing Americans, that notion of the UFO or UAPs have been given new life, says Higian. Only one thing seems certain: seeing UFOs is not going away. There's no question there's something there, and that keeps everyone involved and coming back to the mystery, says Higian. I'm probably butchering his last name. But like I said earlier, I think people are into UFOs because it's something that we don't hear a lot of. And we are curious to see if there are life on if there is life on other planets. And I know a lot of us believe that there are. I do. And want to know that we're not the only one in this universe. Because I mean, we do have you've got movies or TV series like Star Trek, and then there's other species out there. So we're always wondering if there's other if that we're not alone. We want to believe, as I have the poster behind me. All right, with that, Dusty goes pitch black at my house. No sightings here. Scotty goes, a few thousand aliens just entered Mexico yesterday. All right, we've got Daniel goes, I've seen 3 things in my life and still can't say what they were. I have not seen anything. I have not seen anything. I haven't had I mean, I want to see something, but I haven't had the experience of seeing anything in the sky besides planets and stars and airplanes. I've seen a drone because I've seen one when I'm driving home on the freeway, and I'm like, what the hell are those lights? Because it was like just hovering right above the freeway, but it wasn't up high. It was like kind of maybe kind of, you know how the overpasses on the freeways are, maybe that height high. Probably what, 6 feet, 12, 6, I don't know how, 10 feet maybe off from the ground. It wasn't that high, but I could barely see it while I was driving. And I go, that's a drone. Like, why are they droning? Like, what? But I've never actually seen anything like unusual that I can't explain. Wendy goes, they're coming for good carne asada tacos. Lisa Boo goes, where's D nice? She likes spam and rice. Dusty, oh, that's terrible. We haven't had cell phone service all day. Just came in. Oh, glad you got it back. I hate that. It's crazy because you don't realize how much you use something until you can't use it. You know what I mean? Like if you hurt your leg, it's the same thing if you hurt your leg or something, not just your cell phone, but if you hurt your leg and then you realize, because when I hurt my back years ago, I was like, oh my God, I never realized how much you depend on your back for things. Like simple things like I couldn't bend, down or anything. And I'm like, I could not pick up my socks from the ground. And I just made me realize like to not take that for granted. So it's like it's one of those things when you don't have something, that's when you realize how much you depend on it or how much you use it. And we're very dependent nowadays on our cell phone, believe it or not. But glad, Dusty, that it did come back so you could have it. I feel like too, it's the same when the power goes off. I feel like that's like a breeding ground for burglars, because all like when the power goes off, everything goes off. Like my cameras go off and everything, and I'm like, oh no. Heather Salvatore asks, is all of you afraid of drones? I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them. I'm just wondering, like, who's manning them. You know what I mean? Like who, what, when, and where. That's where my thing is. I'm not afraid of them. I'm just like wondering, like, what, why are they here in the first place? Lisa Bugos, it's like trying to flick on the light, no power. Exactly. Tyranna, what is up? Heather Salvatore goes, I had that weird cat last week. My son came home and was visiting my mom, and he heard that weird cat scream, freaked him out. He thought I was lying last week. That is crazy. Dusty goes, it was terrible. I needed to call some people and couldn't do it. I drove south around to the other side to the island till I got, oh, that's terrible. Lisa Boo goes, who's operating them scares me. Yeah, because true. I mean, it doesn't scare me. I'm just wondering, like, who, what, when, and where. Like, why? I mean, obviously, they're saying it's not a threat to us, but I feel like you're being vague about it. And it's like, come on. They're not saying it's military drones, but still, though. Also, too, I want to give a shout out to Heather, whatever, for your PayPal. Down payment on a solar bug zapper for little drones. Hearts for Heather, whatever, guys. Thank you, Heather, whatever. I appreciate the support. Daniel Miles goes, they're acting like the First Amendment audit people if they're right and we don't have to tell you anything. Yeah, kind of. Like they're not doing anything. Like, they're not violating anything. Like, come on. They're there, like, do something about it, even if they're not, like, look into it. It's kinda like, they see them, but they wanna ignore them, type of thing. I don't know if that's the case, but Dusty goes, "Since I'm late, do you think it is the military doing experience with the ability to see on radar?" I don't I'm thinking, I don't know if this is it, but this is my opinion. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it's, what, like, the worst that it could be in the back of my mind is something, um, someone from another country is, like, spying on us. You know what I mean? But not aliens. I think it's like a person. They could be spying on, like, thinking of devious things to do to us, type of thing, to do the United States, like, maybe not like another 9/11, but, something like that. That's what I'm thinking, and I think that might be why people are fearful, because it's like, why are these people spying on us, type of thing. Um, they said it's not military, but you know what? The military always denies things, so I wouldn't put it past that it could be military and they're just testing things out and not letting anybody know. So I mean, it could go either way. Julissa goes, I think it's our own country. That's what I was thinking at first. I was thinking it was us doing it because it did look like military drones. Because the military does have drones that look as big as a car sometimes. But it's still just, it goes to the back of my mind, like I'm thinking of the worst of what it could be, and it's probably, that's a bad thing to do when you think of the worst. But I'm thinking of the worst of what it could possibly be, and that's where my mind is going, that it's someone spying on us and thinking of doing devious things to us, type of thing. Dusty goes, not aliens, but a Russia concern that they came out recently with new technology. That's what I would believe it if that's what they came out and said. Um, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe not just Russia, but it could be possibly Russia, but like other, like, yeah. Matthew goes, I saw someone say it was a Space Force doing it. Scotty's saying NASA's using drones to investigate the plasma orbs. Tyranna, I do agree with you on that one. I think they're keeping a lot from us. They do. They do. I mean, I guess if they're investigating something, I understand. Um, Especially when it comes to a crime, they may not tell us all the details, which I understand. I get it in that case because you don't want to give too much. Because you want to solve this crime, you want to find out who did this. So I get it. But when it comes to something like, um I mean, they're calling in and reporting that these things are happening, and I feel like people deserve answers when it comes to this. They may not have the answers for all that matters, you know what I mean? So they're just saying, like, this is what we're doing, we understand your concerns, blah blah blah, but I feel like it's not enough. In a way, I feel like they're being nonchalant about it. Daniel goes, radioactive material had come up missing and drones are searching for it. Yeah, it could be a number. I don't think it's alien related at all. I know there's some people, oh my God, those are aliens, but I don't think it is. I think it's either us or what the worst possible thing could be. Like I was saying, could be some bad guys that we don't want scoping us out, type of thing, which is the worst thing. And that's the only thing that kind of makes me nervous about it, but not fearful. I could get why people are fearful about it because of that. That's like something serious. That could be um like where we get it, like, Pearl Harbor, where they actually got us on our own land, type of thing, or 9/11. I don't want that happening again. I don't think anybody wants that happening again. Scotty goes, the radioactive material was on ABC News today. Dusty goes, the 360 views they say they want reminds me of the movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington. They could hear and see through walls. Wow. Julianne goes, I do not believe it has anything to do with extraterrestrials. Heather Salvatore going, who's being nonchalant. I feel like the people, like the who is it? The FAA, like the spokesperson for the FFA or the head, I don't know who it was, being nonchalant. Like they're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything criminally. Heather, whatever goes, the mainland was an attack during World War II because they were afraid of common Americans responding. Heather, whatever goes, they aren't supposed to fly at night or near bases. Um, I did kind of look into drones, like I said earlier in the stream. There are a lot of rules that people don't think about. Because I know I'm always hearing like with the city website on Facebook, hey, I found this drone. Did one of your kids lose their drones or something? There's kids that have drones that fly and they lose them in the backyard. That's what I'm afraid that's gonna happen if I get one. I'm afraid that because I'm probably gonna be horrible at flying it. But you could get awesome shots, like aerial shots with it. That's kind of why I kind of wanted one. Um, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna fly and it crashes into some like distant field that I can't get to, and I'm like, oh. I forgot to say at the beginning of the stream, Skeleduck, and it's not the one that you see right there. Skeleduck is somewhere in this background. Just remind me by the end of the stream, and I will reveal his location. If you don't know who Skeleduck is or what or who, what, when, or where, he is pictured in my left hand corner, might be your upper right hand corner. I hide him in my background during every stream. Just remind me because I will forget. But he is back there. He is back there. Heather, whatever goes B2, mine would be in a tree like Charlie Brown. My son is set up to return the way it came. Daniel goes, living here in the sticks, there's a guy that was flying his drone and they shut him down saying he can only fly above the property, not over anyone else's property. Now he is the town's crazy. Lisa Boo goes, don't fly over campfires. Heather Salvatore goes, those drones were too obvious, wind, weather, and such. Well, Heather, I don't believe that they're UFOs or anything. I believe they're drones. I just don't know who's manning them. Carol found them already. Carol with the eagle eyes have found them already. I was waiting for you to say that, Carol. Lisa Boo goes, I saw so many drone videos and they ended up in the campfire. That too. Like, I don't want that happening. You spend $600 on a drone, like a good size, might not be the most expensive one, but a good one. You know what I mean? And then boom, campfire. And you're like, what? Matthew goes, that's BS because you can fly over anyone else's house. I think you can. I wouldn't personally do it because I feel like that's an invasion of privacy, but I don't know like where I didn't go in depth with that. That's something I would never do personally, even if you could. I would never fly a drone like looking into someone's window. Like I wouldn't do that. And I know there's probably people thinking of doing that. That's something I would not do. My son got a small drone for Christmas a few years ago, and we watched him fly around their neighborhood. And on New Year's, neighbors tried to shoot it down with fireworks. Smooth Magoo's going, y'all talking about the drones or whatever these are? Yes, we were. Matthew goes, because you can't own the airspace above your property. True. Well, yeah, true, because there's always airplanes and stuff. I do know like certain areas you can't fly drones specifically. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll give you a few more minutes to look for Skeleduck. And it's not this one where my finger is pointed. Heather Salvador goes, whatever, no, you have to fly a drone or go check out drone footage. Nobody's looking into backyards. True. But I always think people may come up with the idea. I know, true. You don't see any videos of drone footage looking into somebody's yard or window, but you never know. There might be that kid that's bored that might decide to do that. Lisa Boo's asking plans for Christmas. None that I know of. Not any big plans, just hang out with family, just the usual. I don't think I have to work that day because hopefully I could get someone to come in to take care of the animals, but if not, I may have to for a couple hours, but that's okay. Smooth Magoo found the duck. And again, it's not the one that you could see. There's another one. Dusty's asking, do you think the 360 technology they have could see through walls? I don't think, I feel like probably not video like you're seeing me type video that could see through walls, but I feel like they do have technology, like maybe infrared technology type of thing. Um, that you could see through walls. I do believe that, but I don't think it's video like you're seeing me video wise or like in 4K or 8K. I don't think that's possible. But I do feel like there is infrared where it could go through walls and see structures and stuff like I believe they have that type of technology, but not to where you could see it clearly like you've seen me. Or like thermal, as Matthew said, they could use very strong thermal. All right, guys. So Skeleduck, I think most of you have seen him. He is right. It's not this one. All right, it's not that one. But because I forget he's back there, because I know some of you were like, "Oh, I found him," and you thought it was this one. He is right there, like right where my finger is. He is like very peeking. Hold on. If I drop, you could kind of see him a little bit. If you see the peep's ear, you'll see his eye. That's where Skeleduck is. I mean, I can't get you to see it. There. So if you see the peeps where my finger is, that is his eye. He's right next to the creature. So that is his eye, and that's where he is hiding. If you guys got it. And you kind of could see him. You kind of could see him the way I had it, but I don't remember how I had it. Matthew goes, I spied him. Gotta hand it to you for Skeleduck's location. Carol goes, I found the duck at the beginning of the stream while playing zombies. Daniel was like, I was wrong. Dusty goes, go watch Deja Vu, the movie. I believe movies are made from the true stuff. Yeah. I mean, the way that technology is nowadays, I wouldn't put it past that we that we're able to see that, but I don't 100% believe that. Maybe it's like you could see me as clear as you could see, like through walls, like you could see me now. Smooth Magoo goes, I was way off. Lisa Boo with the pinche skelly. Julissa goes, I was wrong. I thought his eye was on the other side of the studio. Dusty caught the eye. Lisa Boo goes, I thought he was just above your chair. That is this right here is a wolf head skull, and then that right there is a skeleton alien. And then I have a Zoltar machine. Daniel goes, I thought he was behind the skull in the little miniature wizard. Nope. Oh, that actually kind of does look like it. Oh, it does. It's actually what you're seeing is Michael Myers' mask because it's a Michael Myers Funko Pop. It got Daniel, good one. I didn't even notice that one. Julissa goes, what's behind the skull under the poinsettia? It's a Michael Myers Funko Pop. So it's the mask that you're seeing. A Funko Pop. Like you know how on the box they kind of have because it's behind, because you see my gnome. That's the Funko Pop because it's one of the big ones. That's the little, that's him, but a picture of him on the box. That's a good one. I didn't realize that one. That's a good one. Julissa goes, that tricks me all the time. I didn't realize that was the. Oh, that's a good one. Because sometimes I do hide the duck there, but I didn't realize. Tyrana goes, I was wrong. All right, guys. Any last minute questions before I end this stream? Dusty goes, I was fooled at first by the duck next to the green guy to your left. Thank you, Lisa Boo. Daniel goes, I know I was wrong about it being a wizard. It kind of looks like a wizard though, Daniel, so I don't fault you. All right, guys, if there are no further questions, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I will see you on the next one, which will be Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there, be squared, stay spooky, guys, and sweet nightmares. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your week until then, and good night. Thank you, guys. Thank you.